Ever wondered what would happen if you threw all the rules of car racing out the window? Imagine a race where the only goal is to transport a human being around a track 200 times as fast as possible. Now, let's step into the realm of the fantastical and consider the myriad strategies that might emerge in such a scenario. You might think of electric cars with their instant torque or rocket sleds hurtling down the track. You might even envision roller coaster-like carriages using momentum and gravity to their advantage. The possibilities are as diverse as they are thrilling, ranging from the conventional to the outright bizarre. Yet, as we dive deeper into this thought experiment, we'll find that this isn't just a race against time, but also a race against human biology. But of course, the biggest challenge here is not the speed of the vehicle, but the endurance of the human inside. So, what's the real challenge here? It's the human body. Let's dive into the fascinating world of human endurance and speed. The human body is an amazing machine, but it has its limits, especially when it comes to acceleration. Picture yourself in a fighter jet, zooming through the sky, pulling high G-forces. These forces are not to be taken lightly. They can make you feel as if your body is being crushed, and that's because, in a way, it is. Your body is experiencing a force several times greater than gravity, and that can have some serious physical effects. Fighter pilots, for instance, experience G-forces up to 9 times their body weight. That's like having 9 of you sitting on top of you. It's a sensation that's hard to imagine, unless you've experienced it. But these pilots train for it, and they wear special G-suits to help them withstand those forces. Even then, they can only endure it for a short time. Now imagine experiencing those forces for an extended period, like during a 200-lap race. The human body isn't built for that kind of prolonged acceleration. Blood can pool in the lower extremities, leading to a loss of consciousness, and that's just one of the many potential health risks. And yet, despite these challenges, the human body is remarkably resilient. We've sent people to the moon and back, we've dived to the depths of the ocean, and we've climbed the highest mountains. We've pushed our bodies to the limit, and yet, we continue to find new limits to push. So, when it comes to racing, it's not just about the car, it's about the driver. It's about pushing human endurance to its limits and finding ways to overcome those limits. It's about finding that balance between speed and survivability. In the end, it's not the fastest car that wins the race. It's the driver who can withstand the forces of speed and acceleration, who can push their body to the limit and still come out on top. The human body can only endure so much, and that's where the real race begins. Now, imagine a race where the key is maintaining a constant magnitude of acceleration. Picture a car zooming around the track, its speed never faltering, never wavering. The straightaways and the curves, they're all tackled with the same gusto. This isn't just about brute force speed, but a strategy of consistency. It's about ensuring that every part of the track is conquered with the same level of acceleration, minimizing the time taken from start to finish. But how do we ensure the driver survives this intense acceleration? The secret lies in the direction of acceleration. By accelerating in the direction of the chest, we can help maximize the driver's survivability. It's a delicate balance between pushing the limits of speed and ensuring the safety of our driver. But even with these strategies, we still have to consider the impact of limiting factors. When we talk about speed, we must also talk about limits. Now, these limits aren't just about the technology we have or the rules of physics, but also about the human body itself. The human body is a fantastic piece of biological machinery, but it has its limits. One of those limits becomes evident when we discuss G-forces. In the world of car racing, G-forces play a significant role. They're the forces acting on a body moving in a circular path, pushing it outward. In essence, it's the force that presses you back into your seat when your car accelerates. Now, the average person can handle about 3 to 5 Gs for a short period. Fighter pilots can endure up to 9 Gs, but only for a brief moment and with the help of specialized suits. So let's imagine we've got a car that can maintain a constant 9 Gs of acceleration. The driver, equipped like a fighter pilot, is ready to brave this intense journey. Now remember, our goal is to get a human being around a track 200 times as fast as possible. If we do the math, considering the tolerable G-force limit, we find that this race would be over in approximately 10 minutes. But what if we could push the limits a bit? Let's consider a scenario where the driver can withstand a constant 11 Gs. The finishing time drops to just under 9 minutes. A 12 G scenario gives us a race that's over in just over 8 minutes. Of course, these are all hypotheticals, and we have to remember that prolonged exposure to high G-forces can lead to serious health consequences even with the best protective gear. But it does give us a glimpse into the amazing potential of what could be achieved if human biology didn't impose such stringent limits on speed. But what if we remove the requirement for human survival? What then? Well, we're about to delve into that exciting prospect in the next segment. The world of extreme concepts awaits us. Let's dive into a world where human survival is not a requirement. Strap in, because we're about to plunge into the realm of the extreme, where the only limit is the edge of scientific possibility. Imagine a centrifuge-inspired capsule, spinning at breakneck speeds. Remember, in this brave new world, we're not worried about the frailty of the human body. This capsule, akin to those used in astronaut training, could theoretically whirl around the track faster than any car, constrained only by the strength of the materials used to build it. But what materials could withstand such speeds? We're talking about forces that could rip steel apart like tissue paper. We'd need to delve into the realm of exotic, ultra-strong materials, perhaps carbon nanotubes, or even diamond, one of the hardest substances known to man. Speaking of diamond, let's consider another extreme concept. A diamond capsule, not spinning but sliding along a chute. This would be a frictionless environment, where the only limit to speed is the push you give at the start. But hold on, wouldn't friction be a problem? Not necessarily. With the right materials like superfluid helium, we could potentially create an almost frictionless environment. These concepts sound like though they're lifted straight from a science fiction novel, don't they? But they're not as far-fetched as you might think. Consider the Large Hadron Collider, where particles are accelerated to almost the speed of light in a near frictionless environment. Of course, the practicalities of these concepts are a whole other issue. The cost, the technology, the sheer scale of the undertaking all pose significant challenges. But this is a realm of pure speculation, where we're not constrained by such mundane considerations. So while we might not be seeing diamond capsules or centrifuge-inspired vehicles at the next NASCAR race, it's fascinating to push the boundaries of what's possible and explore the outer limits of speed. These concepts may seem far-fetched, but in the world of particle accelerators, they're not so strange. Particle accelerators, like the Large Hadron Collider, achieve incredible speeds. Now let's draw some parallels with our extreme racing concepts. These technological marvels propel particles to velocities near the speed of light, a feat unmatched in the realm of motor racing. Just like our hypothetical diamond capsule, particles in an accelerator are contained within a track, in this case a magnetic field. They are accelerated using electromagnetic fields, similar to the concept of our centrifuge-inspired capsule. However, the speeds achieved by these particles are phenomenal. We're talking about 99.999% the speed of light. That's over 700 million miles per hour. If we could harness this technology for car racing, our 200-lap race would be over in a blink. But of course, the human body wouldn't stand a chance in such a scenario. It's a fascinating comparison nonetheless. As we can see, the world of speed is not just about cars and tracks, but also about particles and accelerators. So, what have we learned from this imaginative journey? In the world of car racing, rules are not mere restrictions but guidelines that ensure human survival at extreme speeds. Our exploration has shown us that the ultimate limits of speed are not just dictated by engine power or aerodynamic design, but by the enduring capacities of the human body and the boundaries of material science. We've seen that constant acceleration, direction of forces, and the tolerable range of G-forces are all significant factors in achieving maximum speed, while ensuring the driver's safety. We've ventured into the realms of extreme concepts, where the human element is removed, and theoretical vehicles achieve mind-boggling speeds, limited only by material strength and friction. Reimagining car racing without constraints is a creative yet challenging journey, reminding us that speed is not just about machines, but also about the humans inside them.